last Christmas Eve, I got Bell's palsy. Welcome back to the What's the Dill podcast. We got a Christmas special episode for you. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing this Santa's hat, so you know we're gonna have some fun. You know it's gonna be a lot of fun. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you don't see my Santa's hat, make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe so you never miss some crazy stuff we're doing over here, like wearing Santa's hat. What am I gonna do next? No one knows. No one knows. But we're gonna have our Christmas episode today, Christmas special. We're not really gonna do any skits or songs, but we're really gonna talk about something near and dear to my heart, which is my health, my Bell's palsy. Now, why during Christmas? Because as many of you know, last year on Christmas Eve, I was stricken, or I received Bell's palsy. I was attacked by Bell's palsy. I don't really know the words, the verb to use, but I got Bell's palsy last Christmas Eve. So since this is kind of Christmas week, I wanted to give an update on my health. I wanted to share with you the healing I've received in the past year, and give you my perspective a year later on how I've kind of felt and dealt with Bell's palsy. So, little recap. For those of you that don't know, those of you that are new here to What's the Dill, maybe those of you that have seen a couple episodes, you wonder why my lip isn't really moving here. Last Christmas Eve, I got Bell's palsy. I felt some pain in my face shut down. Christmas Eve, ended up in the ER. Second year in a row, I've ended up in the ER. 2 years ago, I was in the ER for a stomach issue, got very sick. I'm really hoping I'm not going to end up in the ER this Christmas. But ended up in the ER, got Bell's palsy. Obviously, it was pretty scary because you don't know what's happening. Thought I was going to have a stroke, and I'm doing stroke tests in the hospital. Lift your hands above your head, stick your tongue out. Are you guys just joking with me, or do I actually have to stick my tongue out? They're like, all right, sing the ABCs, like A, B, C, D. They're like, okay, you don't have a stroke. I was like, okay, well, is this really the test you have to do? Or were you just kidding? So obviously it was really scary. Was I having a stroke? Was there something else going on? Took all these tests, tons of tests, CAT scans, MRIs, like blood work, neurology tests, all these different tests to figure out what was going on with me. What's really interesting is, like, the medical field, they do not have a timeline for Bell's palsy. They kind of have like a general sense, like, well, it could heal pretty soon. It could also not heal pretty soon. We don't know. So I'm taking tests. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Going to some great doctors, talking to my doctor, and no one really knew why. Suspected it kind of came from when I slipped in the shower and pinched a nerve in my neck. But no one really knew why. The good thing was that it wasn't anything serious. It wasn't a tumor. It wasn't a nicked aorta. It wasn't, and even saying that gives me the chills to think about that. It wasn't anything super serious. It was kind of a, run-of-the-mill Bell's palsy. And, for the first couple of months, it was frustrating, obviously physically. And it was frustrating mentally to not know what was wrong with my body. You want your face to work. You want it to move when you say move. And when it didn't for me, it was frustrating to not know why or how or have a timeline. But I was feeling a lot of grace in those moments to just kind of stay positive, know that I'm going to get healed, know that I'm going to kind of be better, and to not let negative thoughts creep in and just stay positive and do the work and commit to the process of healing and trusting God that there's a plan for this. Obviously, like I said in the episode last year, which you need to go check out, there was these moments of having my face completely off, and it was, people looking at me, and all the double takes I was getting every day was alarming at first. Everyone looking at me, double taking at me, it was alarming. I was also getting cut to the front of the line a lot of times. People were being very extra nice to me, which was nice. It was actually nice. I got to be honest, even though my face wasn't moving, people were very nice to me. I literally cut a coffee line one time. Never had that happen. Has not happened since. I'm stuck in the back now. I'm stuck in the back like all the other jerks like me. So obviously there was this long play, this long game of getting better, and had to trust in the Lord a lot for how I was going to get better and if I was going to get better. Little by little, after all the, massaging and the steroids and this and that, and the PT and all these different things, and, saw some slight getting better, but nothing. I couldn't blink for months. And one big moment in my life, which I received a lot of healing, and again, I made an episode on this, so make sure you go check it out. There was a relic of St. Jude that came through my home parish when I was in Austin. And I went to that healing service, and There's a part of me that thought I'm not going to get healed. I'm not one of those people that receives physical healing like this. And then there was also a part of me that thought like, well, I might as well go and see what happens. So I go, there's thousands of people there. I'm waiting online. And all the while I'm thinking, why am I here? This is so silly. I'm not going to receive any healing. And eventually I just felt the Lord say to me, hey, Pete, do you think I can heal you? Do you believe I can heal you? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, well, do you want me to heal you? And I said, yes. Okay. So, I go up to the relic and say the prayers, receive a blessing, and nothing really happened at that moment, but I noticed in the next week, a lot of people came up to me and said, hey, like your face is so much better. What happened? So it was an opportunity for me to share about the healing and also share about my faith, but also see God's work in my life. They're like, wow, I'm not the one saying it. I'm not in the mirror going, oh yeah, I think I can, think I can see it. People were telling me, okay, that's a good sign, So where I've also had a lot of growth in this post-healing is that it's not 100% better, but that doesn't mean that God didn't heal me or isn't continuing to heal me. I've really felt this like daily call to like keep speaking the healing into my life, keep speaking the healing and not reverting back to, oh, I'm not 100% better, because I'll be honest, my disposition is to see myself as not 100% better because I can't really smile. That's like my big thing right now. It's like a year later, I can't smile. And you know me, I love to smile. I love to get out there, show the chompers to everyone. And I love to just have a good time. And I love a good smile. I can't really smile. And I'll do this for you. I'm on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, check out YouTube so you can see my demonstration here. But you can see my demonstration of not really being able to smile. I'm going to smile as wide as I can right now. So it's going to look so silly when I edit this. As you can see, I can't really smile out of this side of my face. My eyebrow can move, my nose can move a bunch, my eye is, better. My cheek I can move, but I can't move it all the way. So for me, knowing that I can't smile all the way, I'm faced with this daily reminder that I'm not all the way better. Now, what I've kind of learned in the past few months is that people don't notice my Bell's palsy really at all. They actually only notice it if I start talking about it or I call out that I can't smile. And it happened. I've done this a lot. I've had to actually catch myself because people say, oh yeah, now that you say it, I can see you can't really smile too much, but people aren't really noticing it. So for me, I maybe see myself as not being able to smile 100%, that I'm not 100% healed. But other people, they see me as healed. They're like, dude, you're better. Now, why do I call that out? I call that out because God, like I asked God to heal me. I believe that he healed me. But then I sometimes walk back the healing. Sometimes my weakness of faith walks back the healing. I've likened it to Peter walking on water. He says, Lord, if it's really you, let me walk on the water with you. Jesus says, come out and walk. He starts walking, and he's walking on water. It's a miracle. But then he starts looking around and going, whoa, I'm actually walking on water here. And he starts to sink. And Jesus is like, why did you not have faith? Like, you were walking on the water. And then you started to look around, and you got nervous, and he started to sink. And that's where I feel like the past few months I've had this kind of walking on water moment where I received healing. My face got so much better. People called it out to me. And since it's not 100% better, I've kind of maybe walked back some of the healing like, well, when I get 100% better, or I want to try this to get my face better, or to smile more, or to do this. And I think the challenge is for me to have a daily belief that God is healed me and is going to continue to heal me, my physical and my spiritual, and like renew me. And that's, I think, like it's like our it's funny because it's like our souls, like we experience God, we have big moments, we experience him, and I experience it, but then like I need to keep being renewed. And this Bell's palsy is this opportunity for me to renew my faith in God every single day. Because I'll be honest, I have had some weakness of faith the past few months with my Bell's palsy in my face. Like, it's actually really annoying to me that I'm not 100% better. But it's not up to me to say, well, this isn't enough healing for me. Because what I want, what I deeply wanted was I wanted functionality. Like when I asked for God for healing, I wanted to be able to blink. I didn't want the pain. I was getting headaches. I wanted to be able to move my nose. I wanted to be able to breathe. I wanted to be able to chew. I wanted to be able to swallow, all of which I could barely do when I had Bell's palsy. All of that was healed. Literally from 1 week to the next, all of that was basically healed. So when I then and presented this kind of maybe not full healing, I can go back to this like, well, I'm not healed. Like I don't speak Jesus' healing into my life. I just say, well, I guess I'm not healed. I really need to keep being healed, or when I'm 100% better. So anyway, it's just like this opportunity for me to trust in God and trust that God has a plan for my life and trust that God is continually renewing me physically and spiritually. What's really interesting to me and funny to me is like, I don't get to pick and choose where and how God asked me to grow. God has asked me to grow spiritually through my Bell's palsy, through a physical ailment, through a physical attack. And it's been a year-long journey for me, a year-long opportunity for me, a daily year-long opportunity for me to trust in God, in his plan for me, and trust that he's healing me and trust that he's bringing me somewhere better, somewhere good, even when it's hard, even when when I'm down. And yeah, like I've had ups and downs of honestly trusting in God. Like real talk, 1 year later, I've had ups and downs of my faith in the process. Now, I've always had this belief and trust like that I'm going to get better, that God is bringing me somewhere better. But on the daily, it's hard sometimes to not look around and see, wow, I'm walking on water and be like, whoa, what is going on? And get a little scared and see my face not be able to smile all the way and think, well, am I ever going to be able to like smile fully again? And answers, I don't know. But where I've had greater trust in the past year is that this has been an opportunity. The Bell's palsy has been an opportunity for me to trust in God controlling my life and the outcomes of my life. And we can always control our process, control our attitude, but the outcomes of things sometimes are out of our control. Like my health. I'm a pretty healthy guy. I don't know, I do the right things, I work out, I try to eat decent, love a piece of cake, a slice of pizza, but I'm eating pretty decent. And boom, out of nowhere, Bell's palsy. I don't know if there's anything I could have done to stop this. It's a reminder that there's so much out of our control. And it's an opportunity for me to just give up things to God. And I think I've had struggles with that my whole life, like actually giving stuff to God, like giving stuff to the God of the point of not worrying about it. Like, do I give the things in my life to God that I need help with? Do I give the things in God that God is asking me to give to him and not worry about it and trust that he's in control of it? And the Bell's palsy for me was an opportunity to get a mirror shown to me that I don't. Like, this Bell's palsy was a mirror up to my life and my soul to realize, oh, like, even when I give stuff to God, I feel like I'm still probably holding on to them. I'm holding on to the way. Do I give things to God and not worry about them? Do I give my life, my job, my family, my friends, my opportunity, my status, my future? Do I give those things to God and not worry about them and trust that he has control of all of those things and a plan? Because I'm looking at my face, it's not 100% healed. So I don't know if I actually trust you that my face is going to get better. I'm going to have to go to physical therapy and I'm going to go to acupuncture and I'm going to do the things to take control back and try to heal myself. Because it's not 100% better, I think you maybe fell a little bit short, God. So, okay, now it's on me again to try to take control back to heal myself. So I think that's where God was bringing me the past 6 months. Like, hey, you received a lot of healing. You got healing for the things you asked for. You're feeling great, but there's a little bit left to go in terms of the physical. And my response wasn't, hey, Lord, I trusted you have a plan. Hey, Lord, I believe that I'm going to continue to get healed physically, and I just not even going to worry about it. My response was a little bit more like, well, you fell short. You almost made it, Lord. 85%. I'm going to take control back. I'm going to get us home to the next 15%. Physical therapy, massaging my face, de-stress, vitamins, because I'm going to take it home. So that's why Bell's palsy was a really big mirror for me. It was a mirror to show where I need to keep growing and trusting in the Lord in the things in my life. Because I not only do that with Bell's palsy, I kind of have come to realize the past year I do that with everything, my future, faith, friends, relationships, job, you name it, something in my life, I'll give it to God. But there's a part of me that's holding back because I want to hold on to my effort to make sure that it gets done. If you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself. If you want to get something done right, you got to do it yourself. I think I do that when it comes to the things in my life. So, the funny thing is I look back at kind of, I'll say, the chaos of my life and decisions and choices and this and that. And it can only be God that's gotten me to this point. I could have never gotten myself here just on my own effort alone because, it's been crazy choices and all over. I've moved around and this and that. I'm in Texas, also San Antonio, all these different places. And the Lord has brought me here. So the evidence shows that God brings me to where I need to be, and it's good. But I really need to work on fully giving things to God, giving him the control, and not worrying about it. That's where I think I've grown the most. So got Bell's palsy, a lot of emotions getting it, received some healing, a lot of healing. The mirror that continued to be shown to me was, Lord, I don't know if I trust you fully with everything in my life. And I feel like I need to take back control and I need to kind of bring us home here because I don't know if you understood the assignment, Lord, but I need to be able to smile all the way. The Lord used that Bell's palsy in my physical to show where I do that in the spiritual. My job, my life, money, finances, outcomes, moving, you name it. Well, I don't know, Lord, if you really know my needs. So I'm going to try to take some control back, take it here, and I'll just kind of, get it where it needs to be. I'll kind of fit it right in. I'll take a square peg and put it in a round hole or whatever. Thanks, Lord. I'll take it from here. And that contrast is something I didn't, I think I always knew, but I didn't really admit or acknowledge. And it took me having Bell's palsy to realize how much I truly hold back from giving every single thing in my life to the Lord, giving it over. And that the standard is, do I give it to you, Lord, and not worry? And let me tell you this, your boy worries. Your boy ruminates. Your boy thinks about it. Boy, can I think about it like the rest of them. I can be it doesn't matter where I am. I could just get right into it. Oh, what I got to do is I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ABC, XYZ, PDQ, 1, 2, 3, but boo, boo. Okay, then I'll do this and then this will happen. And then I can get in the mental Minority Report strategy game and figure out what I need to do to make it happen. And obviously, the process is important. Working hard is important. Attitude is important. But my spirit and my disposition has always been that it's because of me why these things happen. It's because of my effort why these things happen and go the way they do. So I'm going to have to put in more effort to make sure they go the way they are. Instead of, Lord, I'm going to put in the effort and trust you on the outcomes. So that's been a lot of growth for me. That's been a lot of growth for me. We talked about a few months ago the, Deuteronomy, one of the chapters in Deuteronomy where Moses is talking to the Jewish people and he's saying, hey, we're about to go into the promised land. And he goes, but you have to be careful because what's going to happen is we're going to go into the promised land. We're going to have our cattle. We're going to have our land. We're going to have our fill. We're going to have, generations have more than we could ever imagine, tenfold. And we're going to look back and we're going to say, it is because of the work of my hands that we have these things. And we're going to forget where the Lord has brought us. And remember, these are people sitting in a desert before they go to the promised land they've been walking to for 40 years. And that was wow, that really speaks to me. I can be in the desert of my life, having Bell's palsy. God can heal me. And then when I get healing, I say well, I'm the one who brought us through this, so I need to kind of keep massaging my face because then I'll really, really get the full healing. And I do it with everything in my life. Well, okay, God really brought me through that kind of slim money time. But all right, now I need to make sure that I do these two things, invest in the stock market, because then that's when I'll really have, satisfaction with money or, whatever it is. So the standard that I'm trying to live in 2025 is Can I give God the things in my life and not worry about them? Actively not worry about them. Like have a California surfer mentality, like, dude, whatever happens, happens. Let's just kind of ride the wave. Can I have that attitude with the things in my life? Because the pressures of the world on one side say, you got to do this. You got to be self-made man. You got to make this money. You got to go here. You got to have this status. You got to have goals. You got to have ambition. You got to figure it out. You got to step above this person, get above that person. And the Lord says, I have a plan for your life. You don't even know the plans I have for your life. And most of the time I listen to this side who are telling me all the things I need to do instead of trusting in God that he has plans that I can't even imagine for my life. So that's kind of the update. That's where I've been brought through 1 year later to grow in greater trust in God and his plans for my life. And even when we're in the desert, even when the face can't move, God has plans for my life that I can't even imagine. Now, what has also happened in the past year? Had a second child, bought a home and moved to San Antonio. 2 amazing, incredible things. Those are just 2 among a million other things. Things have actually gone really well, and God has navigated me through amazingly. So what I've learned 1 year later in this Christmas week, if you're watching this in Christmas week, Jesus is God. God became man to save us from our lives. Trusting in that plan, just like God had a plan to become man, to save us, die on a cross, raise from the dead. He had a plan. He has a plan for your life, for my life. The Bell's Palsy taught me 1 year later is that I need to continually, daily trust that God has a plan, and I just need to take care of the things I need to today to give God the things in my life and not worry about them. You know, the classics: finances, relationships, future, status, decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? What if this happens? What if that happens? Trusting in God with my choices and my decisions every day because he has a plan, plans I don't even know about. So that was my year-long journey. Took me getting Bell's palsy to kind of come to that. And I'm working it out every day and I'm trying to get better at it. But that's kind of my message going into 2025. So also, I want to thank all of you the past year for checking in on me, for being active with me in terms of reaching out, caring about my health. I appreciate every word, text, message, conversation, anything about my health. It was a scary time. It's been crazy, but it's also been amazing to know all of you out there have reached out and cared and been there for me, supporting through it all. So this is the last episode of What's the Deal for the year. We're going to end it with me. We're going to get back to some interviews next year. And it's going to be an exciting year for what Backseat Media and What's the Deal. There's a lot of good things cooking. I got a lot of fun stuff that I'm excited to share with you guys about. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, New Year. As always, I love you all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll see you in the new year. And if you're watching this in the new year, let's get it, 2025. Peace. Bye.